First up, the Battle of Alberta, where the Elks hope to continue their dominance over their provincial rivals, looking to make it a perfect 3-0 against the Stampeders as they officially hand the reins back to Trey Ford. It's Calgary and Edmonton coming up on CTV. September the 21st, Trey Ford back under center for the Elks, the dynamic Canadian, 2-1 as a starter, hoping to make a statement down the stretch of this CFL season. And speaking of changes at QB, with a bottom two offense and defense, the Stampeders looking for a spark, starting Matthew Schultz for the very first time this season. No more Jake Mayer. We'll see what happens under center for this position in the future for the Calgary Stampeders. It's Thanksgiving weekend on TSN and CTV. Kate Burness alongside Enoch Mwamba, Jim Barker, Milt Stegall as we get set for the Battle of Alberta. And Enoch, no doubt, the biggest story in this game. It's the return of Trey Ford. What do you need to see from the Canadian moving forward?
I need to see some consistency. I really want to see him in the pocket, Kate. I want to see him in the pocket, and I want to see if he can deliver the ball to his receivers accurately and have poise while he's in the pocket. We know he can run. We know he's entertaining. We know he's got the legs and the ability to extend plays. Can he stand in the pocket and hit his targets?
Yeah, poise and getting rid of the ball are crucial things. The most interested observer is Fred Weinrich, one of the top agents in the CFL, who is Trey Ford's agent, because this game is about money for Trey Ford. He could be 100, he could be 400.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, that's what this game's about.
That's what it's about.
And the next 3 games.
Yes, and I know what you're saying, he not be a drop back quarterback. But you got to think about getting paid. And to get paid, you got to make plays. So just go out there and make plays. Do whatever you need to do to make plays. We know he likes to roll out, use his legs, throw the ball down the field. Whatever you need to do, it's time to get paid. Don't think about being a drop-back passer. It's not going to happen in 3 games. Do what you do best, and that's make plays.
One of the reasons why he stepped out and McLeod Bethel-Thompson came back in, he ran out and he got hurt. I want to see him in the pocket and throw.
It's time to get paid. It's time to get paid.
You don't get paid if you don't get paid if you're not on the field.
You know what's convenient, too? I mean, he's trying to get paid, and you get the Calgary Stampeders. I mean...
That's the team to get paid against. That's the team to get paid.
I'm being real. I'm being honest. I'm being honest.
They could be a buyer.
They may be a buyer.
Ken Coppola, Princeton, BC. This is your chance to win big. Thanks to Save on Foods' $1 million touchdown to win. If a kickoff is returned for a touchdown, you could win groceries for a year. If 2 kickoffs are returned for touchdowns, you could also win $1 million. Good luck, Ken. Let's get you to Dustin Nielsen and Dwayne Ford.
It's a beautiful Thanksgiving Saturday in Calgary as the Elks roll into town looking for a Battle of Alberta season series sweep for the first time in 22 years. The Stamps enter this game winless in their last 7. It's been a long season for Edmonton as well, but a couple of bright spots in the middle of this defense.
Yeah, and I think for both of these teams, when you look at their linebacking cores and the activity, the action that we're going to see, these are some guys who are definitely here to play a little bit of football. The season's not over for them. For Edmonton, terrific, physical, downhill duo in Niles Morgan in the middle and rookie Nick Anderson, who has been outstanding from the will linebacker spot. Definitely 2 guys to watch. 2 guys that this team will continue to build around. And of course for Calgary, a couple of veterans. When you talk about downhill physical linebackers, you can't help but mention Micah Awe, who loves to deliver some big hits. And of course, the veteran Cameron Judge, one of the more versatile weak side linebackers in the league.
Dave Dickinson and his Calgary Stampeders have not won in over 2 months. Winless in 7 for the first time since 1977. That's 47 years. Nice mid-season resurgence for Jarius Jackson, but they've fallen apart lately, losing their last 3 in a row. Have a chance to sweep the season series today, and we are underway at McMahon. This will be taken just inside the 10. Hayden Logan up the near sideline. Decent little burst, and he's out of bounds just outside the 35.
And a new starting quarterback for the Calgary Stampeders today. First year in Calgary, well known around the league. Matt Schultz has had spot starts in both Montreal and Hamilton during his time there, but makes his first start as a Calgary Stampeder. Has thrown just 5 passes previously this season.
11 career starts. This is 12th. 6 wins, 5 losses. And you wonder if he'd been healthier earlier in the year, would we have seen him maybe try to turn the season around? For Calgary, they'll start it on the ground, pushing it ahead. Dedrick Mills almost has a first down. In fact, they'll give it to him.
And as these two teams look for bright spots down the stretch, certainly one of them for Calgary would be rookie offensive lineman Christy Nicanu, a first-round pick for them, made his way into the starting lineup second half of the season. Of course, always the veteran, one of the league's most reliable performers, Reggie Begelton, on the verge of another 1,000-yard season.
He is just 6 yards away from that 1,000-yard mark. Calgary works from their own 47. They get it into the hands of Begelton and give him 68 games in a row with a catch.
And for Edmonton defensively, you may see a few different faces, but already a young team. Daniel Joseph, former BC first-round pick, will get the start at defensive end. Veteran Derek Moncrief plays alongside Anderson and Morgan in that core, former Edmonton top defensive player. Keep an eye on the rookie at halfback. Cordell Jackson has had a terrific first year playing one of the toughest spots on the field in Canadian football.
4 interceptions, 8 knockdowns for Jackson. Schultz from the pocket, down the field over the head of Reggie Begelton on a 2nd and 8. And Calgary will have to kick it away.
Well, certainly Reggie Begelton appears to be a guy Matthew Schultz is going to lean on. No surprise there. Begelton, once again, Calgary's leading receiver.
Dylan Mitchell back to return the kick, averaging 9.1 per punt return so far this year. Cody Grace gets that one away, a towering kick, and that out of bounds just inside the 10. 56-yard kick from Cody Grace at our first look at Trey Ford today.
Yeah, tough place to start for Trey Ford, but as you heard the panel mention, looking to improve upon that record as Edmonton's starter. Certainly still many things for Trey Ford to prove as he potentially heads into free agency. There you see McLeod Bethel Thompson in street clothes today.
MBT, 3 wins, 10 losses on the year, 24 touchdowns though, and 11 interceptions. 1st and 10 for Edmonton from their own 5. Ford in the end zone, pressure in his face, and he gets taken down. Calgary's defense is there. Bailey Devine Scott with the safety.
Bailey Devine Scott coming off the edge. He's starting at the nickel linebacker spot today. The Global from Australia played Division III football at Western New England. He's established himself as a productive special teamer, getting an opportunity here late in the season to show what he can do on defense.
Calgary defensively strikes first. They lead 2-0. Welcome back to Calgary. Here's a look at Matt Schultz throughout his career.
Yeah, most recently in Hamilton, signed there last season. brief opportunity to play with the injuries to Bo Levi Mitchell, but Schultz ended up spending some time on the injured list himself, which opened the door for Taylor Powell last season, but broke into the league with Montreal. Limited opportunities there. Schultz, an athletic quarterback. That's something that I felt early in his career was always very underrated about him. Very mobile. Hamilton put in some packages for him to use that.
Hogan takes it, gets a block, finds a little bit of space, and eventually he's hammered down at the 42-yard line by Dublenko.
Here you see Matt Schultz's numbers from last season with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And Dustin, you made mention earlier of the fact that Calgary has looked for consistency in the starting quarterback position as Jake Mayer has had his ups and downs. Certainly Schultz was brought in here to be insurance, even competition for that starting quarterback job, but he got injured early and that never really materialized.
His last win as a starter was against Edmonton. This one down the field over the head of Mark and Michelle, who I believe was looking for a flag, but one does not come.
There you see Jake Mayer dressed as a backup today.
Jake Mayer, 72.6% completion percentage this year, over 3,500 yards, 19 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, but just 4, 9, and 1 on the season for a team that has not found a way to close some really close football games. Here's Schultz, a little fake. Now down the field, he's got Beggleton wide open, and he finds him inside the 20, down to the 15,000-yard season in style for Reggie Beggleton.
Well, you've had a sense that Schultz has felt there's an opportunity to get the ball deep. You saw the little double bump there, double move from his receiver, Reggie Beggleton. Here they'll get a look from the receiver's perspective. Looks like he's going to take that one across the middle. Freezing the defender before he goes north-south for a huge gain. 54-yard pickup there. Biggest play of the game so far, but you felt Schultz was looking for that one, trying to push the ball down the field, and finally found his range.
Into the red zone for the first time today. It's bobbled and drops, and Edmonton takes over. Major buzzkill for the Calgary Stampeders after a deep shot to Beggleton had them in business. What happened here? Toss to Beggleton, and they're going to say incomplete pass.
Yeah, forward pass. There wasn't a handoff. Forward pass, so that's ruled incomplete as, I don't know if nobody wanted the ball or too many people wanted the ball.
Well, if Reggie would have had that even for a moment and then it knocked out, would have been the fumble, but incomplete on the toss up ahead. He ran into Dedrick Mills. And now it'll be an empty backfield for Schultz. He'll bring Philpott in, I believe, to protect for him. Bouncing around the pocket. Kicks it to the outside. On the run to the end zone. Incomplete. Looking for Clark Barnes and put it right in front of him.
You got a little bit of a sense of the mobility of Matthew Schultz on this one as he's forced to scramble. Clark Barnes lined up out wide. This one, he's just settling down with the defense backed off, goes into scramble mode. That throw just short, as you're going to see Schultz had a defender bearing down on him. That'll bring on Rene Paredes.
Paredes had a 35-game streak snapped last week of field goals in consecutive games. And he's starting a new streak here as Calgary is on top, 5-0. Trey Ford making his 4th start of the season. Sacked for a safety on the first possession. He'll get another try when we return.
CFL Thanksgiving weekend is brought to you by Purolator.
Well, there's Trey Ford, and they were talking about it on the pregame show briefly about putting some film together, trying to get a payday somewhere in the offseason. Started on the ground. Nowhere to go for this Edmonton starting offense.
Take a look at this group on the offensive line. One of their free agent signings coming into the year. Shane Richards, Calgary native, gets to start at right guard, former #1 overall pick in Toronto. Keep an eye on Gino Lewis today. He comes in with touchdowns in 6 consecutive games.
Ties the franchise record of Tom Scott back in the early 80s. He's 64 yards away from another 1,000-yard campaign as well. Ford out into the flats. Javon Leak on 2nd and 12. Not going to have a sniff of that first down marker. And Edmonton will be forced to kick it away on the leg of Jake Julian, who's averaging almost 55 yards per kick. Well on his way to setting the all-time record. It's Peyton Logan waiting in the distance. Logan actually leads the league in punt return average so far this year. And he'll hang up there. Logan takes it at the 15, a 52-yard kick. And Logan picks his way back up to about the 29, and that is where Calgary, with a 5-0 lead, will have the ball when we return to McMahon.
Maybe we'll give you a better jersey to celebrate that.
Reggie Begelton starting this game with a bang, a 54-yard catch. Puts him over 1,000 yards on the season and gives him a catch in 68 straight contests.
Yeah, Reggie Begelton, so consistent, so reliable, regardless of the ups and downs of the team. Doesn't really matter what the quarterback situation has been, what the team's record has been. Reggie Begelton shows up and delivers.
Handoff from Schultz. 3-yard pickup on the ground.
Well, Calgary, a team that definitely likes to run the football. We expect to see them use 3 different running backs today, but Edmonton counters with those linebackers we showed you off the top. Nick Anderson, you'll certainly hear this guy's name in the conversation as most outstanding rookie here in 2024.
2nd and 7 for Schultz. Looks to his left, now to his right, throws it over the middle. And the tackle made on the play by Darius Bratton to make sure a first down would not be picked up that time by Tucker.
Yeah, Cole Tucker getting a little more of an expanded opportunity.
Looks to his left, now to his right, throws it over the middle. And the tackle made on the play by Darius Bratton.
Ishmael Hyman and Cam Eccles both injured last week. Receiving core for Calgary.
This will bounce just inside the 40. Waiting for there is Dylan Mitchell. By the time he takes it down after a 43-yard kick, he's got nowhere to go with just under 8 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter. One of the things we talked about with Trey Ford, or Trey's even talked about, and there was a lot of thought process that in training camp looked like he was a better pocket passer. How do you balance being what everybody kind of expects you to be and trying to develop that area of your game?
Yeah, and I think it's very natural to want to emphasize the things that you're good at as a player, as an athlete. But for him, in terms of training, off-season practice, etc., you know, it's the things he's less comfortable doing, obviously, that he needs to become strong at.
Gets this one away with some pressure being sent by this Calgary defense. Gino Lewis with the catch.
Defensively for Calgary, we get a look today at Cale Dava, another BC Lions pick. He in 2024 finds his way to Calgary, an opportunity here to play, and Bailey Devine Scott got this Stampeders on the board early here with a safety on Edmonton's first possession. He's at the nickel linebacker spot. Another young Canadian to watch, Ben LaBrosse. The rare task starting at the field halfback position.
Edmonton needs a couple more yards over the middle, and that is caught down to the 50. Tevin Jones with his first catch of the ball game. An excellent addition to the lineup this season for the Elks.
LaBrosse there on the tackle, coming over from his halfback spot, but certainly Tevin Jones had a bit of a breakout year in Saskatchewan last year, but slowed down the second half of the season, the first part of the year. He and Sean Bain were right there amongst the league's top 5 receivers. Terrific tandem in Saskatchewan. Went to Montreal as a free agent, as you mentioned, released out of camp and arrived here in Edmonton.
First down of the game for Edmonton. Now they'll hand it off to Leak. This running attack has been so good for Edmonton so far this season. A real highlight, and kind of got jump-started when they did go to Trey Ford earlier in the year.
Yeah, there you see the numbers for Edmonton quarterbacks over the last couple of seasons. They've had success in terms of wins and losses with Trey Ford. But one of the things that I kind of caution is you got to look deeply into the numbers and the circumstances of the opposition when he has had those wins. I think what Edmonton wants to see is Trey Ford be able to collect some of those wins against the league's top teams to show that they can compete and that he can compete at that level as well.
He finds Tevin Jones here, and they've got another first down just inside the Calgary 35. 8 more yards, and Trey Ford has started this game 4 for 4.
Here you get a close look at things at the line of scrimmage. Javon Leak stepping up. Do a nice job to meet the linebacker in the hole, take away his opportunity to go in different directions, close down his space. That allows Trey Ford to deliver that one to Tevin Jones for the first down.
Javon Leak in behind his quarterback. Will fake the handoff. Pressure coming. Trey hit as he tries to throw. Ball pops out, but Edmonton is on it. Ford got absolutely popped as he was about to throw that to his right.
Keep an eye towards the top of your screen. Defensive right side here. A little bit of a bust in terms of the protection as Vaughters, defensive end, comes free. Delivers a shot on Trey Ford.
And a little bit of extra protection over on that side as well, but Vaughters all the way around him. Loss of 15, so it's 2nd and 25. Likely takes him out of field goal range as well. 4 options out to the wide side left for Ford. Takes off right up the middle. And he will be tackled neatly before he could get back to the 40. Cam Judge was not to be fooled and makes the play.
Yeah, Judge doing a nice job in space there. And Cam Judge is a guy we've seen in situations against quarterbacks like Trey Ford, running quarterbacks. Sometimes be the spy guy for the Calgary Stampeders defensively, who's sort of locked in on that quarterback.
Now, it would be about a 49-yard field goal, but they're going to punt instead. A little bit of a wind here today. And now a flag, a couple of them. I believe this is against Calgary and could move them into a more reasonable field goal attempt range. Long discussion here, and is this going to be against Edmonton?
Edmonton number 50. It's 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
So that'll back him up the other way. To Blanco.
Yeah, he saw some early movement from the defense, but I don't think there was movement across the line of scrimmage. Julian Hauser was lined up kind of on the nose and twitched, and Blanco responded to that.
This kick to the 20, and Logan will take it out of bounds. Trey Ford trying to get loose. Judge not biting. Well, it's an interesting time in the career of both of these quarterbacks today. Schultz getting an opportunity, Ford getting the starter's job back. And for more on that, let's send it down to the sidelines and Farhan Lalji.
Yeah, Dustin, two quarterbacks who want to show, among other things, that they can both be durable. And let's start with Trey Ford. Now, his last start certainly wasn't his best, but in the previous 6 quarters before his injury, he really showed that he was able to elevate his game and do more than just run around. And in these last couple of games, I think that's what he wants to show, not just the Elks, but the league itself, that he has developed as a passer, because people are speculating about his future, and he wants an opportunity to start. He wants the best pathway to doing that, and in order to do that, he's got to show that he can throw the ball consistently. As for Schultz, he looks back at the midway point of the season when Logan Bonner got a chance to start for Calgary. He knew that that would have been his opportunity. One of the reasons he signed with Calgary was the chance to potentially get on the field sooner. So now it's about reestablishing his value in the league in a number of levels, because when his playing career ends, he wants to stay around football. He wants to keep coaching. He'd love to do it in the CFL. So he wants to absorb this experience for as long as he can.
Matthew Schultz was a guy who was working, I believe, with the Indianapolis Colts as an intern when he ended up signing with the Montreal Alouettes initially. So working on that career in football after football, but kind of before his career in football.
It's good to have a plan.
Yes.
And it's good to be around it as much as you possibly can. And tough for him to be hurt early in the year and maybe not get this opportunity when the season was still on the line for Calgary. He's got a completion and a first down here. Marcus Michel has his first catch of the game.
Yeah, just trying to get into rhythm here. We've seen Schultz go to a couple of veterans, Begelton a couple times here. Marcus Michel rejoined Calgary last season after an NFL stint. Of course, broke into the league with the Stampeders. Calgary last year battling a lot of injuries at receiver and reached out. Michel was happy to rejoin the squad.
Leads the team in receiving touchdowns this year with 5. As they'll go on the ground this time, taking it up for about 3 yards to the 35. Kylan Hill in the game at running back. See a little bit of everybody maybe today.
Yeah, Kylan Hill, Peyton Logan, and of course Dedrick Mills, who started the game. 3 American running backs dressed for Calgary. We've seen Edmonton do that at times with their roster this season. Javon Leake, Justin Rankin, often Kevin Brown, who's not dressed today. So just going with the 2 backs.
Haven't seen Rankin yet in this one, but we expect to.
They're offside.
2nd and 7. And this is blown down at the snap.
It looked like AC Leonard was across.
Offside. Edmonton number 3. It's 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
AC Leonard trying to time it up. Calgary maybe mixing up those snap counts a little bit.
AC Leonard brought in late in the season, 51 career sacks. Now they just need a couple. 2nd and 2 from the 41. Back to Hill, finds some room, and he's eventually tackled up near the 50. It's Anderson as his busy rookie season continues.
Kylan Hill, who was in camp with Ottawa this season. Nice bounce there. Good job by the offensive line. We're on the right side there. Pursuit. Nick Anderson always fly into the football.
96th tackle of the year as his push to 100 continues. Already the franchise rookie leader for tackles all time. And this taken out to midfield. Peyton Logan getting a carry there.
We talked to Calgary's middle linebacker, Micah Awe, this week, and he was telling us he's a fan of these guys in Edmonton. Niles Morgan and Nick Anderson talked about the way they run to the football and how he just loves that. And obviously the way Micah plays that is not a surprise, but said, like, linebackers who run to the football are usually the guys who succeed in this league.
2nd and 5 nearing midfield. They're going to bring a little bit of pressure. Schultz feels it, and he's taken down. Moncrief timed that relatively well, didn't he?
He sure did. I wondered if there was going to be an offside there. But Moncrief, the veteran, doing a good job timing it up. Hitting that blitz on the run.
Second sack of the season for Moncrief. Schultz not happy about it. But that'll take us to the end of the opening quarter. Calgary Stampeders trying to avoid being swept by their provincial rivals. They have a 5-0 lead with 15 minutes in the books. Welcome back to McMahon Stadium in Calgary. The Stampeders lead 5-0. Two offenses, two quarterbacks who haven't played in a little bit. Maybe trying to get things sorted out here offensively.
Yeah, well, it's been interesting to watch the play calling in this game. You've got two teams that both historically like to run the football, and particularly Edmonton with Trey Ford in the game. You look at their resurgence around midseason. A lot of that was based around the run game. But it almost seems like in terms of play calling, they're giving Trey Ford every opportunity to demonstrate his ability as a pocket passer. Whereas you'd think maybe in a different situation in the season for them that they would be really establishing that run early in this ball game to try and open up some other things.
Time of possession. Calgary with a bit of an advantage there. Trey Ford 4 of 4 for 34 yards. Just a couple of runs. Leak and Gittins mixed in. Purifoy on this return has got absolutely nowhere to go. So a tough year. Jarius Jackson takes over partway through the year, has that interim tag. Dickinson doing a bunch of different jobs for Calgary this year, and in the end, different ways to get there, but the end result's the same. And for the first time ever, these teams are going to not be in the playoffs at the same time.
Yeah, both missing in the same year for the first time in CFL history this season. And obviously not something that they're thrilled with here in 2024, but says something for the state of football in Alberta historically.
Ford gets it away. And that is brought out of bounds by Gino Lewis. Second catch of the game for 87.
Yeah, Gino trying to get going. High percentage pass here. Just get the ball in his hands early. Let Gino see what he can get. Tyler Richardson getting some action on that boundary corner. Usually occupied by DeMario Houston. Houston sidelined for a little bit of this week due to illness.
Yvonne Leak in the game at running back for Edmonton. 2nd and 4. Ford gets it away. And that got there just in time as he goes to Dylan Mitchell for the first time in this ball game, and a first down and a 6-for-6 start for Trey Ford.
A nice accurate throw here, puts it where only his receiver can get it. Dylan Mitchell doing a nice job shielding the defender Trey Roberson from the ball.
Edmonton at their own 41.
Dylan Mitchell, 55 yards and a touchdown last week in that season essentially ending loss, playoff hopes at least, against the Riders. Tevin Jones has another one. He takes it down inside the 50.
Number 84, Tevin Jones, down by number 40, Bentley Sanders.
Trey Ford threading the needle once again here. Tevin Jones finds a little bubble in the coverage. Ford drops it in. Big target. Pick up with 21 yards on the play.
3 100-yard games for Jones this year. One of those a 200-yard game. Got 42 already today. They'll work from the Calgary 48. Hand off Leak. Gets about 3 or 4 on that first down carry.
Brought down by number 50, Marvin Lee.
There you see Javon Leake, initially brought into Edmonton to help boost their special teams, the CFL's most outstanding special teams player last season, in which he was dominant in the return game as a Toronto Argonaut. Really didn't get a lot of time on offense ever in Toronto, part of that obviously being what his value was to them in the return game. Given an opportunity here in Edmonton, and has excelled to the point that they've basically kept him out of returns to use him more on offense.
Ford under pressure again, escapes. Now he's going to dump it off over the middle, and that is caught. Should be enough for a first down as he goes right to Javon Leake, who we were just talking about.
Yeah, Ford looked like he was going to get blown up here as Micah Awe comes free. I think Micah was salivating at that one as well, as he had a free run to the quarterback. Hurst still shaking his head.
First down at the Calgary 37. Ford now 8 for 8, 76 yards as they try to find a way to put some points on the board here. Far side. That's complete. LeBras trying to punch it loose. Could not do it. Dylan Mitchell held on. And it'll be second in a very manageable setup for the Edmonton offense.
Yeah. Looked like Ford almost bobbled that one a little bit as he was getting ready to throw it, but gets it out there to Dylan Mitchell. Mitchell does the rest, as you said, fighting through the LeBras tackle to pick up a few extra yards on the play.
They need 2 more for the first down. Calgary's going to send some heat. Ford spins away from it. Now he's on the run, has enough juice, and he's got a first down. Takes it all the way down to the 15 before he steps out of bounds.
Yeah, not a lot of times in the game of football is the guy playing quarterback the fastest man on the field, but that is pretty much the case almost every time Trey Ford plays. And the fact is, defensively, you talk about trying to force a guy like this to beat you from the pocket. This is what you don't want to let him do. Number one thing, you want to shut down. This is scrambling.
8th play of the drive. They're into the red zone for the first time today. 74.5% in the red zone this year for Edmonton. They've been good in here. Now they're going to get it to Geno Lewis. Look at Lewis down to the 5, end zone, touchdown Edmonton. 15 yards for Eugene Lewis.
It's not how we expected him to get it, but there's the Edmonton franchise record.
Touchdown in 7 straight. This is a rushing touchdown.
Yeah, they flipped it back, not forward on that play, so rushing touchdown. So still looking for that touchdown catch record to equal Tom Scott.
Beatty knocks it through. Edmonton leads 7-5. Pretty good drive put together by Trey Ford and his Edmonton offense. Rushing touchdown from Eugene Lewis. I did not have it on the bingo card today, but there it is.
I tell you, every week, you're better off betting on me than the lottery. It's Mr. G. It's what I do. Pass, run, and kick. Hey.
Well, this time it's a run. You'll see Geno Lewis coming from the left side of the formation here. And track him across on this one. Takes a little flip from Trey Ford. Follows his convoy, led by some of his receiver buddies, into the end zone. For the first Elks touchdown of the day.
Pretty much untouched the entire way. This one's hammered all the way through the end zone. And they'll go up 8-5 8 receiving touchdowns on the season, and now a rushing TD for Gino. Crave presents the next chapter in the Batman saga, starring Academy Award nominee Colin Farrell, The Penguin, an HBO original limited series, streaming now only on Crave. I have not seen it, but it's on my list of things to watch.
I've heard it's very good.
Yeah, I've heard it compared to like Sopranos, like very gangsterish.
Nice.
Yeah. Also, I haven't watched Sopranos, so I don't know how it compares. Here's Schultz on the run to his right, near side, good throw. First down, Calgary, as he guns it in there to Clark Barnes.
Yeah, we've seen Matthew Schultz try to push the ball deep a fair bit through the opening 20 minutes of this football game. This time settles for Clark Barnes right around first down yardage, picks up 12 on the play. See if Schultz can get himself into a little bit of a rhythm here.
On the ground, little spin move to get it up to midfield. No further, 3-yard gain in the hands of Dedrick Mills. Mills is averaging 5.5 yards per carry so far this season. Did miss a little bit of time.
Yeah, Mills taking over in 2024 from Kadeem Carey as the feature back here in Calgary.
Second and 7 right in midfield here for Schultz. That's batted away, up in the air, and it falls incomplete. Oakman wasn't sure where it was, and Christmas couldn't get there in time.
Christmas never comes fast enough. Right? Is that what you're telling me? There you see big Sean Oakman gets a piece of it. Christmas had a beat on the football. Just couldn't bring it in.
Grace comes out, 3rd and 7. From the 45. Towering kick. Hangs up there for a while. 40 yards. Flag on the play. Deflected by Oakman. And almost a present right there for Christmas. Elks offense about to get the ball back. Last time we saw them, 8 plays, 83 yards, just over 5 minutes. A little bit of everything on this drive.
Yeah, we saw Trey Ford use his legs, which is always kind of fun for any fan of the game. Using his speed around the corner. He's continued to be very accurate in delivering the football. And as Gino Lewis says, in his career, we have seen him catch plenty of touchdown passes, seen him throw a couple of touchdown passes. Gino chipping in with a touchdown run here today.
Edmonton with the lead. Ford keeps it himself and slides after picking up the first down. A nice burst there, and that first down was never in doubt. They'll move the chains.
Yeah, and again, this is the element that Trey Ford gives you as a great option on the designed runs. You saw defensive linemen tackling the running back at the line of scrimmage. They collapse. That leaves room for Ford around the edge. And he's a guy who will make you pay.
Justin Ranking into the game at running back for Edmonton as they work from their own 42. They'll give it to him. Picks his way ahead. Stays on his feet and is just stopped short of a first down. 2nd and 1, maybe a short 2.
Kind of a typical Justin Rankin sort of run here, banging his way through. Lowering the shoulder through contact, fighting for those extra yards. And we talked about Tevin Jones as a mid-season pickup for Edmonton. who had been released by Montreal in camp. Rankin, another great mid-season addition, a guy who had actually been in Edmonton's camp. They let him go. Most of his reps in camp were as an arm receiver, an inside slot to the field, getting an opportunity now as a running back.
Now they'll hand it off. That tackle is made, and they'll be short. Leak got upended. Excellent tackle. And that'll be a third down for the Edmonton offense.
Dakota Prukop in there handling that short yardage offense for Edmonton.
$16 for 18 on third and short so far this season. Konar with the great tackle on that last attempt. Prukop this time. They keep it and just push it ahead, needing a yard. They'll send Leak in behind him. Prukop pushing it. And that final lean forward should be enough. And it is.
Yeah, Prukop looked like he was on his way down early there with Micah Tights coming off the edge. Keeps driving. I think players underneath him basically kept him from falling down on that initial hit from Tights. Allowed him to keep his feet on the ground and fight for the extra yardage.
First down from the Edmonton 53. Stamps are going to bring some heat forward. Backpedaling in the pocket. Sends one down the field. And too much juice on it. Gittins was trying to sneak in behind the defense. There's a flag sitting at the 50 and way back at the 25.
There's a flag down.
And this looks like it's two flags in completely different spots on the field here. Extended discussion amongst the officials here. Tim Croker, our referee today.
Legal contact on the receiver, Calgary #1. Major foul, unnecessary roughness, Edmonton #76. The difference is 5 yards. We're going to repeat first down.
So flags on both sides. Here's a look.
Now keep an eye on the #2 receiver towards the bottom of your screen here. So we're looking at a little bit of contact, bit of a collision in the middle of the field there that interrupted his path to the ball. Top of the line, I think the additional elbow drop at the end of the play.
So a loss of 5, a difference of 5, I should say, on the penalties, and a 1st and 15 goes to Tevin Jones. Again, 10 more yards for Jones, and he's been the go-to target so far in this game for Trey Ford.
I think in terms of doing what he needs to do in this ball game, Trey Ford has delivered. Very accurate throwing the ball, 10 for 10 thus far from the pocket, using his legs when he's had to. People want to see him be consistent throwing the football.
Needs 5 more yards here, right down the middle, and that is gunned in there and completes. One of his better throws of the day as he gets it into the hands of Gittins, and that's Gittins' first catch of the afternoon.
Yeah, college rivals turned battery mates here in the CFL. Gittins from Wilfrid Laurier University. Trey Ford, of course, from the University of Waterloo, basically right across the street from each other in Waterloo, Ontario. The terrific rivalries in the world of youth sports football.
The Stampeders 32.
Gittins a career high 10 catches last week, 122 yards receiving in that game. Rankin makes a man miss, tries to cut it back in, now pushes it to the outside, down almost to the 15. They might give it to him there. A 17-yard pickup. Rankin is averaging 7.6 yards per carry so far this season. Another decent-sized chunk there for the first-year running back. As the final battle of Alberta of the season continues inside 3 minutes here in the opening half.
Thanksgiving, it's a family affair, so of course Peyton LaPolice had to rejoin us in studio. We met back at the 2015 Grey Cup. She's here to help me break it down. And guess what? They grow up so fast, just like when Milt met baby Enoch.
I hate that top, Milt.
I'm scared of you. Sounds like a busy halftime show. Lots to discuss.
You know, Enoch was shocked to learn that Milt's departure from Winnipeg and his arrival were actually so close together because he thinks of Milt as an old man.
Ford, Mitchell, close to the end zone. And they will mark him down just shy. 14-yard pickup. And it will be first and goal from the 1.
Trey Ford continuing to be perfect in the passing game. Dylan Mitchell just pulled outside of the end zone.
Trey Ford is 12 of 12 for 128 yards. Prukop into the game here to finish this drive. Second trip to the red zone today for Edmonton. They delivered the first time. Prukop pushing it ahead, and he's in. Touchdown, Edmonton, the 9th of the season for Dakota Prukop.
He's spiking it. He's spiking it. He's spiking it. I think he's spiking it.
Martez Ivy leads the celebration.
A little slide to the left there for Prukop. Punches it in. Prukop has carved out quite a niche for himself in the Canadian Football League in this role. Obviously his time in Edmonton. Did this in Winnipeg as well the last couple of years before the return of Chris Streck.
It's a tough job to just go in and score touchdowns. 9 touchdowns this season for Prukop.
Love you! Mwah! Hey, it's Uncle Matt! Get your shots up, Get your shots up! 20 before. That's a touchdown!
Another long drive, 10 plays, 80 yards. Just over 5 minutes, back-to-back 80-yard touchdown drives.
Edmonton looking to sweep the Battle of Alberta here in 2024. Off to a pretty good start in this first half. Martez Ivy officially finishing the drive.
Offensive line for Edmonton this year has been healthy and a bit underrated, I think.
Hooking it up, man. Hooking it up.
Yeah, I think thanking Dylan Mitchell for setting him up on the 1 yard line there with that catch.
Time of possession in the second quarter. Edmonton 10 minutes and 51 seconds. Calgary just a minute and 47 seconds. So those 2 long touchdown drives have basically controlled the entire second quarter for the visitors. Beatty smashes a low kick away. That's going to go through the end zone, right down to the back of it. Picked up there. Reggie Begelton, another consistently excellent season. For more on him, let's send it down to Farhan Lalji.
Guys, as the team has struggled and Begelton has tried to impart some wisdom to some of the younger players, he said he feels like a bit of an old head. He tells me that we are in the participation trophy era right now, which means it is difficult to offer stern communication to some of these guys. So he wants to take a different approach, and over these final 3 games, he just wants to show that he is not willing to go through the motions, and he wants to see the best from everyone else. He goes back to his rookie season season, he actually didn't think he had done enough to make the team, so he never took a day off, and that's the approach. He believes he can be replaced at any time, even though many believe he's one of the few untouchables this team has.
It's a great guy for some of these younger receivers like Barnes to learn from, and a great example that he set here, continuing to climb up the all-time list.
Yeah, making his way currently at number 10, closing on Marquay McDaniel. Another 60 yards ahead of him. That could be doable today.
I was going to say that's certainly possible today.
Yeah, 50 plus on his biggest catch. You saw this gentleman, Nick Lewis, near the top of the list. If you had a bigger TV screen, you would have seen me down near the bottom.
All the way down the field, looking for Philpott was Schultz. And Purifoy got over there.
Yeah, Purifoy, the veteran on the back end for these Edmonton Elks. Shows his value week in and week out. Well-traveled here in the Canadian Football League. Time in BC, Ottawa, Saskatchewan along the way.
Schultz has not hesitated to look down the field today. Now he's going to take off on his own. Stays on his feet down to the 40. Now he'll get to the 30. There's a flag back as he takes it down inside the 20. And Schultz showing fans that he too can get things done with his legs. 32 yards, but as I mentioned, there was a flag at the 40.
Well, nonetheless, you got a glimpse of the Matthew Schultz athleticism I talked about earlier. Hamilton was able to...
Holding, Calgary number 54. It's 10-yard penalty, remains second down.
You saw a little grab right here as Schultz took off. Hamilton put together some Wildcat-type packages with him last season to take advantage of this aspect of his game.
Would have been a 32-yard gain. Instead, they lose 10. And now it's second and 20. Huge swing for the Stampeders there. Schultz, midfield. And that will bring up a third down. Cole Tucker has the catch, his second of the game.
Yeah, Cole Tucker, the second-year man out of Northern Illinois. Calgary's first-round pick last season. Number 4 overall in that draft.
Cody Grace averaging 47 yards per punt this season. Forced to kick it away here one more time in the direction of Purifoy. And the veteran will take it at the 12. Short return, heavy collision as well. Trey Ford gets the ball back here, 90 seconds to work. Perfect 12 for 12, 128. Led a couple of touchdown drives and 33 yards on the ground for Ford as well.
And every drive, every series, every play, an opportunity for Trey Ford to demonstrate or prove something. Now it's about clock management and kind of showing how well he can master that at this stage.
They'll start the handoff to Leach. And back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard.
On the carry. Brought down by number 9, James Waters.
Elks haven't really got that vaunted run game going today, but haven't needed to, as Trey Ford has yet to throw an incomplete pass.
Didn't get it going last week either, just 30 yards against the Riders. A pretty good run defense there with Saskatchewan, so maybe that's why. Here's Ford again. Gino Lewis has it. Won't be enough for the first down.
Pass complete to number 87,
Yard
Gene Lewis.
shy, but 13 consecutive passes completed to start this game for Ford.
Certainly spreading the ball around. Gino Lewis, Tevin Jones, Dylan Mitchell, Curly Giddens as well. 5 different receivers catching passes so far for Edmonton in this ball game. Javon Leake has the other one.
3rd and 1. Jarius Jackson thought about it for a little while, but 11-point lead. Ball in your own 28 late here with the clock ticking down inside a minute. Decides to kick it away with the big leg of Jake Julian. Peyton Logan waits back on the 25. Certainly capable of something special. Logan takes it just inside his own 35. Flag along the sideline as he returns into midfield, and now another flag coming later. There was a flag on the return and then a flag at the end of the play, so a couple of things to sort out here with 31 seconds on the clock.
Dakota Prukop, 4 special teams tackles for him on the year, as he also plays on Edmonton's punt team as well as their short yardage unit. Guy who doesn't mind getting out there doing a little bit of the dirty work. Bit of a wrestling match here.
Two fouls on the play. Legal block, Calgary number 47. Major foul, unnecessary roughness, blindside block, Calgary number 50. It's first down.
Doing a little bit of everything out here. You know what they call him? He's a football player.
Yes, sir.
That's what he is.
The more you can do.
I was talking about Trey Ford starting this game 13-13. Matthew Schultz 7 of 14, but has been pushing the ball down the field, trying to.
Yeah.
Much more often than Ford on the other side.
Yeah, particularly right out of the gate. Calgary was pretty aggressive, trying to go vertical with it.
104 yards passing so far, but just the safety and field goal on the board. Schultz on the run again, stays on his feet, has a first down for the Stampeders. No flags this time. That run of 13 yards will stand.
And this is the kind of play that can, down the road, help buy the quarterback a little bit more time. It forces defensive linemen to be a little more cautious getting upfield after him.
Under pressure this time. Can he escape once again? Momentarily, he thought he may have, but instead, he's tracked down at the 20 for the loss on the play. Elliott Brown has his 7th sack of the season, now a team-leading total.
Yeah, Elliott Brown, another of those young, bright spots on the defensive side of the ball, 26 years old. Former Virginia Cavalier.
Second and 16 as time ticks down, and they'll just hand it off. And they'll push it out beyond the 25, and that's going to do it for the opening half of football. And Edmonton looking for a clean 3-game sweep of the season series for the first time in over 20 years. Lead 16-5 at the half. Trey Ford, I don't like what you see.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, it was discussed coming into this football game. People wanted to see Trey Ford throw the football consistently, work well from the pocket, be effective, just show that confidence, in addition to the athletic things we already knew he could do, been perfect. Throwing the football so far and a couple big runs as well, and he is now on the sidelines with our far-hung mulch.
Trey, you took that early safety, but then after that, you seemed to really settle in. 13 of 13 in that half. How do you feel about your play?
Pretty solid so far. I mean, on the one we took a safety, it was a different formation for us than we're used to, and the guy kind of had leverage on my hot throw, so I didn't want to risk it. I was trying to get rid of it, but it was a tough situation, so I didn't want to make a bad play worse. Took the safety, but then we bounced back, got a couple touchdowns, so we're feeling good. Yeah,
2 long drives for you, and in that, you hung in the pocket and were able to take some hits to make throws, and you told me that was a priority for you, wanting to show you developed as a passer. Where do you feel you're at today?
Pretty good in general. I mean, I feel like I'm making throws from the pocket. They're also doing a lot of cover zero. They're stinging us and blitzing, so it's making a lot of quick, easy reads. You know, but I'm getting hit a little bit on it, but not the end of the world. Everybody gets hit at the end of the day.
Trey, thanks for this.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Trey Ford and the Elks up 11 going into the half as they try to sweep the Battle of Alberta. Kate?
Farhan, as you mentioned, Trey Ford, perfect 13 for 13, 136 in the yard, 33 on the ground. And overall, I just think it's a little bit hard to judge right now. We know that the Calgary Stampeders are out of the playoff race, and then the Elks are going to go into the bye, and then they get the Toronto Argonauts. And at that point, the Argos could know their fate as well, so we don't know if we'd see the starters. So instead of doing a breakdown of the game, Coach, we've come up with something very unique. You're going to put your GM hat on here. You would like to sign Trey Ford. How much are you signing him for?
Okay, so if I have a starting quarterback and I'm competing with teams that are trying to get him as a backup, I'm going to make him the highest paid backup. I know Chris Streveler's up there. I'm guessing in that 175, in that range as a backup is a lot of money in this league.
But hold on, Coach. Let me stop you. Trey Ford's not going anywhere to be a backup.
But he may have no choice.
I know, but say you're signing...
Remember, Vernon Adams is going to be on the market.
Right.
I'm saying if I'm going after him as a backup, I'm going after him high as a backup.
So if he's coming in and he's your starter, based on what you've seen out of him, what are you giving Trey Ford?
If I'm going after him as a starter, he's going to be in the high 200, low 300 range, which is... for a guy that hasn't actually had full seasons under him, is about right. In that 280 to 320 range with incentives that could get him up a little bit more, that type of thing.
And what would be your concerns with him?
My concerns are that he hasn't done it. He hasn't done it consistently throughout a year. So in terms of him being my starter.
Right.
So I think there's 2 ways you have to look at it, because I think he's going to be looked at both ways.
Right.
Some it could be because of VA being out there on the market.
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
And then, but somebody like, Saskatchewan with an older Trevor Harris.
Right.
They could go after him as a starter, kind of like what Kent Austin did with Zach Caleros.
Right.
When he offered him in that 280, 320 range and just said goodbye to Henry Burris.
You talk about VA. Does David Alexander, does he want to be a starter? Do they try to trade him?
Oh, Montreal's keeping him.
Well...
Montreal wants him there.
They want to keep him there, but does he request a change? Because he wants to play. He don't want to sit down anymore, I'm sure. And you still got Cody, who's playing well.
I'm not getting rid of that
I understand that. McLeod Bethel-Thompson, he still wants to continue playing. I guess it all depends on which team he's going to. But because we got time, for me, I would offer him like $250 hard money and then give him an opportunity to make $150 in incentives so he can get the big money down the road. But I'm not going to give him all of it up front in hard money.
I'd likely be around that as well. And I just want him to be healthy. I want him to stay in the pocket, and I want him to
He's not doing that.
He's not doing that. But if I'm giving you real money, Milt, if I'm giving you real money, I want you to be healthy as well.
If you're giving him 200, that's not starter money.
And it isn't.
You've got to get over 250.
Then go ahead and do
That's what I said, 250, but the chance to make that 400,000. Yeah, exactly.
Incentive, like I said.
But as you say, he's not going to stand. That's not his style of play. He's not 16, 17 years old where you can train him. He's not going to do that. His best type of play is when he's outside the pocket making plays. I'm sure a lot of people want him to stay back in the pocket, but he's not going to do it.
You know what? I think for all of us and for all the CFL fans too, I would love to see him as a starter. I'd like to see him full-time, see what he can do and see if he is as dynamic as we think he is, but we'll just have to wait and see. And we have Paul LaPolice waiting for Coach's Playbook right after this.
Dropping the bass in the drum, don't wanna feel under the gun. You can't blame me like I'm dumb. I already know what I done. I've already been on the run. Don't wanna be under your thumb.
Second half of our doubleheader goes at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. A crucial Western clash with playoff implications. With the Bombers' loss last night, the Rough Riders with a chance to secure a home playoff game with a victory. Mosaic going to be rocking. Saskatchewan and BC, here's Paul Lapalisse with Coach's Playbook.
We know both teams are going to be in the playoffs, but I wanted to see which teams, what do they have to do better to be in the Grey Cup? What's got to happen for these teams to be successful and go all the way? I looked at a couple of things from each team. Let's start with the BC Lions. Giveaways. They've given the ball away 6 in the Canadian Football League. Way too many times that the ball is turned over. You cannot win when you turn the football over. Hey, in 2019, when the Winnipeg Blue Bombers started their stretch, I was with that club. We didn't turn the ball over in any playoff game, including the Grey Cup. They have to protect the ball. This area right here on the field, score zone. Offensively, more trips than anyone in the CFL, but they are 8th in scoring. They have to finish with 7s, not 3s when they get down there. They got to be better at that. That's something they can practice the next couple of weeks. Now, for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, there are 2 areas of concern that they've got to make sure they're better at. We'll start with this. Number 1 is they got to kick field goals better. They're last in the Canadian Football League at 80%. And what scares you is 40-plus field goals, 64%, and 50-plus, 43%. They're going to need to kick some field goals down the stretch, especially with Sergio Castillo and his ability to kick the long field goal if they end up playing Winnipeg down the road. And then the run game's got to be better. I think A.J. Ouellette will help them, the return of him, but they've got to make sure they don't have to. You don't have to run the ball successfully to win the Grey Cup, but it makes everything easier. It makes you not one-dimensional. So I think that's something they got to improve on. So it's going to be great to see how they play out the next couple weeks to see who gets that home game. Be very interesting to see. Hey, can I make one point? Baby Enoch, I don't know if I would have drafted you if you were related to Uncle Milt Stegall. I didn't know if that was going to happen if I knew you guys were like related like there. And you did look totally confused.
Nepotism at its finest, Lapo. Speaking of that, next time I want Coach's Playbook with Peyton Lapalisse. I was promised big things. Milt and Enoch are recreating the photo right now, by the way.
See, Enoch.
Well, you can't ask for much of a better day in Calgary at this time of year. Thanksgiving Saturday. Picture perfect here in Alberta. Edmonton leading Calgary 16-5. 2 big touchdown drives. Matthew Schiltz making his first start for the Stampeders. Stands by with Farhan.
Matthew, you guys are down 11 entering the second half. You pushed the ball down the field a lot in that first half. Given the score, do you think that's part of the plan again here in the second?
Yeah, we just have to stay on the field. I think that's the biggest thing as an offense, as a unit. Just as a team, we're taking some penalties that are shooting ourselves in the foot. So we just got to string some plays together, stay on the field, and look to get points.
You've also taken off a lot, not just scrambles, but designed runs as well. How much of a benefit do you think that is for this offense?
Definitely think it plays an impact on what the defense has to prepare for. So just going to keep on reading out the defense and see green grass and take it.
Thanks for this.
Yeah, no problem.
Matthew Schiltz, 7-14, 104. Dave Dickinson trying to snap this 7-game winless skid. Has not won in more than 2 months. It's just rare territory for the Calgary Stampeders, isn't it?
Well, rare territory for the Calgary Stampeders, who have spent the better part of 2 decades as one of the flagship franchises in this league. Pretty dominant run for them, certainly with Bo Levi Mitchell as their quarterback. Previously, a lot of success with Kevin Glenn, Henry Burris. So some very good years without question for the Stampeders, but especially for Dave Dickinson, who in his entire life in football has only been a part of 3 losing seasons, with the last 2 being among them.
Yeah, that was brought up when we had a conversation with him earlier, and how long he's been around. Crazy to think that 3 losing seasons is all he's seen.
Yeah, and to have them back-to-back like this, Dave is a fiercely competitive guy. So no doubt this season in particular has been a frustrating one for him, fighting to get things turned around.
Trey Ford takes the field here in the second half with an 11-point lead. He'll have Javon Leake standing into his right. Gittins will move in behind the quarterback and out to the slot to his right. That's where Ford's going to roll. There's a flag as he guns it out to the 50. Would be a first down, but there is a flag on the play as he kind of moved out of the pocket.
It looked like there may have been a hold on the backside of the protection. Ford rolling to his right. Looked like some trouble on the left side here.
Legal block, hands to the face, Edmonton number 6. 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
That's the left tackle, Martez Ivy, hands to the face.
See Ivy from his left tackle spot. Ford is going to roll away, so towards the top of the screen, and he just oversteps, basically, as Julian Hauser cuts inside, tries to redirect and catches the face mask.
So instead of a first down up the field, it's a 1st and 20 here. Ford dumps it off to his running back. A little spin move, and that go beyond the 35. Still be a 2nd and long, but a little bit better, courtesy Javon Leake.
An interesting conversation for the panel, you know, as it's under the circumstances limited. Everybody wants to see Trey Ford show this or that. Limited in how much he's able to show under these circumstances. I mean, one of the things that I've said all along, I want to see Trey Ford win games against some of the top teams in the league. If he's not playing one of the top teams, he can't prove that. That's fine. But he's done what he's needed to do in this game. He can only control what he can control. He can't. He's not responsible for...
Procedure. Edmonton number 69. 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
For how Calgary's season has gone, he's not responsible for the defense Calgary is giving him. He has responded with the right throws based on what the Stampeders are doing defensively.
Here's a look at how they handled the quarterbacks this year. McLeod Bethel Thompson ended up starting 13 games, won 3 of them. 2 wins against Calgary and a win against Hamilton, 2 non-playoff teams. Trey Ford had wins against teams that didn't have their starting quarterbacks at the time. So, interesting way to look at the resume of these 2 quarterbacks this season. Here's Ford out to his right, over the middle. Tevin Jones has it, takes it out beyond the 40, but that'll be 3rd down and a bunch. So they'll be forced to kick it away again. But Ford now 15 of 15 for 150 yards.
With the way that Jake Julian has been booming the ball, Edmonton's punter, an opportunity for the Elks to kind of swing the field a little bit here if they do a good job in coverage against the league's top punt returner, Peyton Logan.
A little bit of wind to Julian's back. This one, a couple of hops. Logan knocks it down with his left hand after a 53-yard kick. Stampeders offense looking to get going. Just under 12 minutes of time of possession in that first half. They'll look to string a few plays together when we return to McMahon. Matthew Schultz getting the reins of the offense for Calgary. He's made some good plays, just not enough of them so far.
Yeah, and they came out of the gate trying to push the ball down the field. And it seemed like it took him the first couple throws to get comfortable, maybe get a feel for the wind, and, you know, and even getting comfortable with his receivers. Again, he came into this game having thrown only 5 passes this season. Hit that big strike to Reggie Begelton. He had a couple nice runs late.
We'll see what they can drum up here in the second half. They start with Dedrick Mills, never a bad idea, and he gets them 7 on that first down carry.
Yeah, try and set the tone, establish the line of scrimmage. Not just a productive play, but one that, if they can establish this run game a little bit, will certainly help out their pass protection and give Matthew Schultz a little more time to operate back there.
Darius Bratton with the tackle on that one. Calgary 3 for 10 on second down so far in this game. 2nd and 3 here. Schultz has some room. He's got a ton of room, and he's out to the 40. There's a flag as he takes it to the 45, and we'll have to sort that out. That flag came out after he'd already picked up the first down, but we had a big one taken off the board earlier for Schultz, 32 yards that came back. This one was 19.
Legal contact on a receiver, Edmonton, number 24. Penalties decline as the gain is greater. It's a first down.
And that 19 yards will stand.
So AC Leonard got caught inside on his rush on this one, allowing Schultz to escape to his left. Tracked down, not surprisingly, by Nick Anderson.
That's an element of Schultz's game that Jake Mayer just really doesn't have in the bag, right?
Yeah. When you look at Jake Mayer's numbers on the season, only 8 rushing, 8 attempts as a ball carrier.
Up to the 46 here. Schultz. That one incomplete. Might want it back as he misses Cole Tucker.
An intriguing group of young Canadian receivers for this Calgary Stampeders team. We mentioned earlier Cole Tucker, a first-round pick a year ago. Clark Barnes, also in his 2nd season. Jalen Philpott, of course, first-rounder for them in 2022. Lyson John in the lineup today out of Simon Fraser. They waited for an NFL stint, arrived last year.
Philpott does not have a catch yet today. Tried to get that one to Cole Tucker. Bratton was there in coverage, and it's incomplete. No flag, and it'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, Tucker working out of the slot here. They go trips into what is the short side of the field. Tucker thought there might have been a little bit of early contact there, but
it has been challenged. Dave Dickinson just threw the challenge flag. You think he's got a decent case here?
Yeah, I thought that there was a bit of a grab on his shoulder.
Calgary is challenging the last play for defensive pass interference. The play will be reviewed.
Tucker got up and sort of signaled right away that he felt that the contact was early. Just took a little while, I guess, for the communication between the booth and the bench to confirm that enough for Dave Dickinson to challenge.
Definitely looked like some contact as he turned back to the ball. Sixth challenge of the year for Dickinson. It's 2 wins. 3 of them went not overturned.
You can see there on the inside shoulder. Darius Bratton had a hold of Tucker's inside shoulder there as he tried to work back to the ball.
This will be a good challenge, we believe, from Dave Dickinson. Would have been a 3rd and 10. Instead, do they have a first down? Here we go.
After review, there's pass interference. Edmonton number 24. Automatic first down.
3rd successful challenge of the season for Dickinson. And Schultz in the offense trot back out onto the field, right at midfield, actually. This ball's just on the Edmonton side of things.
Yeah, and important for Calgary, not just for Matthew Schultz to get in rhythm and get some reps and so on, but they've got to put some drives together. Remember, in the second half, you're talking about Edmonton having the football for about 12, 13 minutes of the second quarter of this football game with a team that can run the ball like Edmonton does and pound it. You don't want to let them have a lead and have your defense tired as this game goes on.
2 yards for Mills. That's his 6th carry of the ball game. And that's what Schultz said to Farhan there at the conversation at the half. Just put some drives together.
Yeah, we got to stay on the field.
Need 8 more yards here to stay on the field. Begelton in the slot to the right of his quarterback. Mills will flare out to the left. Schultz under pressure trying to escape. And he'll be taken down. A sack on the play for the rookie, Nick Anderson, his 3rd of the season.
Yeah, Nick Anderson proving to be a terrific find. For Edmonton, coming from the top of your screen. Going to loop around late. The guard, Zach Williams, trying to track him. Basically gets picked off by his own man.
Third and 9. Cody Grace called back into duty once again. High kick bounces just inside the 10, then immediately to the right. Purifoy will grab it. And some flags on the play there. While Nick Anderson, phenomenal rookie season, continues here today. 6 tackles and a sack already to show for it. Eugene Lewis now just 42 yards away from 1,000 yards on the season again, up to his old tricks last week against the Riders. That was a spectacular catch. He's got the touchdown there. That gave him receiving touchdowns in 6 in a row. And then today, the rare Eugene Lewis rushing touchdown. You can say he does it all.
This is what I do. Pass, run, and kick.
Yeah, saw him throw a couple of TD passes as a Montreal Alouette.
Back to Lewis again. Hangs on to the ball here. Tackle made by Tyler Richardson.
Take a look. Here at Gino, going to work a couple times. We've seen them run this play, just trying to get the ball in his hands right away. Now, defense, we see Tyler Richardson had one of those caught in front of him early in this ball game. This time he's a little tighter. So you got to anticipate the next one is faking that and Gino going over the top.
We'll keep an eye on it. Just 2 yards there. 2nd and 8 for Trey Ford. He's 16 of 16 to start this game. Now he's in a little bit of trouble. Escapes to his left, dumps it off. And it's another completion, stepping out of bounds after picking up the first down.
Completed number 84, Tevin Jones steps out of bounds.
Back to Tevin Jones again.
That's some fancy footwork here from Trey Ford to stay alive, redirects the eyes downfield. Tevin Jones mirroring him across the field. Trying to get open as his quarterback's on the move. Just enough to move the sticks.
6th catch of the game for Tevin Jones. Edmonton out to their 40, leading 16-5. Ford this time hands it off. Leak unable to escape. Tackle made there by Markel Lee.
A little redemption perhaps for Markel Lee, who took that no yards penalty on the last Calgary punt, where they got a great bounce, got it to sit down. They're pinned Edmonton in the corner. I think the rookie may have forgotten the CFL rules a little bit as he went inside that 5-yard halo.
2nd and 9 for Ford. Passing situation. They'll empty out the backfield. Just 3-man rush. Still feels a bit of pressure on the run to his right. And there's the incompletion. First of the day. Thrown a little low and to the right of Eugene Lewis. And you see Ford point to himself on that one. He's 17 of 18 on the afternoon.
And nonetheless, terrific start for Trey Ford. You see him over there communicating with his veteran receivers. They try to get back on the same page.
Julian booms away another, and a flag flies as he was contacted on the play. A 55-yard kick. Logan bouncing around, couldn't find any space, but there was a flag on the play. And is it Mark Ali again? I believe it is.
Contacting the kicker. Calgary number 50. It's a 10-yard penalty. Makes it a first down.
Had the arms up saying, I didn't do anything, but a little bit of contact there.
A little frustration for the last couple minutes for Markel Lee.
Edmonton number 26, Josh Haggerty, is down.
Haggerty down on the field. Will step away. There's Haggerty. Trevor Lawrence hair going. I thought Trevor Lawrence might have to cut his hair with the way they started the season in Jacksonville.
Trevor Lawrence has Josh Haggerty hair.
Yeah, that's right. That's what they say in Jacksonville. He's got Josh Haggerty hair. Trey Ford's got the ball back after that penalty. Contacting the kicker. Rankin turns it up. Hard 4 yards there for Justin Rankin, just his third touch of the game. But he's done a lot with it. That 17-yard run earlier in the game.
Yeah, pretty good job on this one by the Calgary defense of forcing Justin Rankin to go laterally on the field. Not a guy you want to allow that opportunity to get his shoulders turned north-south and go downhill with it. See Jacob Zott on the right side of your screen. It is tight end, forcing the Stampeders to defend another gap.
Second and 6 at midfield. Empty backfield for Ford. On the run to his left, over the middle and over the head and the hands of Dylan Mitchell, and it falls incomplete.
Pass thrown incomplete intended for number 17, Dylan Mitchell.
Yeah, it looked like Mitchell had a shot there as he times up that jump. They just got away from Ford. Tough to try and get the shoulders downfield, throw real accurately, going to his left. As he was. I've seen him make a couple of those, but maybe on slightly shorter throws.
Yeah, that was a little bit deeper, but he had a couple of them on the run to his left already in this game. Julian with Logan waiting, back on the 5. No contact this time as he smokes one into the end zone. Logan waits. 66-yard kick into the end zone.
Logan on the return
on a Thanksgiving Saturday at McMahon. The interim general manager of the Edmonton Elks, G. Roy Simon, watching from above for more on the future of the franchise. Let's send it down to Farhan.
Yeah, some potential uncertainty around both of these franchises. And with Edmonton, if you go back about a month when the team had won 3 straight and were in their bye, you got the sense that a lot of momentum was leaning towards extending Simon and Jackson. That could have happened before the end of the season, but when you look at how things have played out since then, I do believe that Rick Lawlisher is going to take a bit more of a deliberate, patient approach and wait until the end of the season. They're in the final stages of a presidential search. That could come about as early as the end of the coming week, and then that person will also be involved in those decisions. Obviously, ownership will have a say as well. But again, winds have shifted a bit, which is not to say they won't be back. But again, it just might take a little bit longer to get there.
Here's Schultz. He's going to be hit. Can't get the ball away. And pressure once again from the Edmonton defense.
Once again, the veteran, Derek Moncrief, doing his part in that linebacking core as well. Yet another guy, you look at some of the veterans that the Elks brought in as well once the season started. We've talked about younger guys, Justin Rankin, Tevin Jones to some extent, but Sean Oakman and Derek Moncrief really brought in to provide some veteran presence on this Elks defense.
Schultz over the middle, out towards the 45. Mark and Michelle, watched by Darius Bratton. And that one short of what they needed. 3rd and 5. You know, for the Edmonton side of things, what Farhan was talking about, kind of got get people in place at the top first, and then have some decisions made, I would think, on filling out the rest of the staff.
You would think that's how it will play out. You know, but you know, I like the combination of Geroy Simon and Jarius Jackson in their present roles. You know, because they're guys who will continue to grow into their roles. Two guys who know each other very well and have for a long time, roommates in their playing days, work together very well. They're on the same page, and I think that's an important element.
Here's Leak on the return, a rare return, and he's going backwards, and there's a flag. There's actually a flag at both ends of the field here. There's one back at the 40, and then all the way up the field, just inside the 20. Another one there, so do we have a couple of things to sort out? Jarius Jackson into the tag himself, watching on as the officials, headlined by referee Tim Croker, sort this out. Multiple penalties on this play. Extra conversation there.
Holding, Edmonton number 6, penalties declined. Illegal block, Edmonton number 26 is accepted. Half the distance, first down.
All right, so the penalty on Josh Haggerty will stand. And Edmonton will start this drive inside their own 10.
Right on the left edge of your screen, you saw that block from behind, but the Stamps, a good kick and cover, have the Elks in a tough spot as far as field position. You kind of think ahead, the opportunity this may give you to get a short field and get yourselves back in this football game if you're the Calgary Stampeders.
Drive starts on the Edmonton 7. Ford starts it on the ground, right up the middle with Justin Rankin. And once again, he had 3 carries for 30 yards prior to that. And tack on a bunch more there.
A nice execution here. As you see up front, Trey Ford recognizes he can't pull that because the end is staying wide. So Hicks in position to take him, but if he stays wide, he can't defend the handoff inside. Ford hands it off for the big game. Nice execution there.
Ends up going for 20 yards. Calgary's going to bring everybody. Ford gets it away, and they've got another first down right back to Eugene Lewis.
Number 87, Eugene Lewis. Brought down by number 35, Tyler Richardson.
Gino out wide. He's coming in. Trey Ford sees blitz. Knows what his adjustment is. Quick hitter to Gino Lewis. Spots it, delivers it. Gino does the rest to move those sticks.
Three options to the wide side left for Ford. Lewis is one of them. Looks over the middle, throws over the middle, and that is caught at the 45. First catch of the day for the big fella, Zach Mathis.
Well, Trey Ford saving his roommate for last.
Pretty good chat with Zach earlier in the week, didn't we?
Yeah, terrific chat. Great getting to know him a little bit. Edmonton using a first-round pick in the supplemental draft to take Zach Mathis, which effectively it's like taking an advance on next year's draft. So they use their first-round pick in next year's draft to take him in this year's supplemental draft. I think a smart move for Edmonton. I think this guy's got a bright future. Not as deep a draft next year as it was in 2024.
Ford down the field for Jones, and it's defended extremely well. Pretty well thrown ball. But LaBrosse was there to break it up.
Yeah, this is a terrific play from Ben LaBrosse, the rookie. Finished up his university career at McGill. Montreal area guy. Started his college career down at Syracuse. We've talked a little bit this season about the number of Canadians they had there at that time and the success that some of those guys are now enjoying in professional football.
Julian. 50-yard kick. Logan had nowhere to go all day. Takes it back to the 25 and covered well by the Elks.
Marching the ball up to the 26-yard line.
That big play by Justin Rankin, regardless of Edmonton not turning that into a long drive, just the shift in field position. Right? When they were backed up.
Started on 7.
Yeah. You know, backed up in their own end. That one big play makes such a difference in terms of the entire field position battle, in terms of your play calling as well, but just not giving Calgary a short field here to start this drive, and it goes back to that play.
They started on their own 25. 4 receivers to the right. They'll throw it to the left in behind Dietrich Mills, who took a little bit of punishment from Nick Anderson at the end of the play. And quarterback change has certainly not provided the jump start to the offense maybe that Dave Dickinson was looking for.
Yeah, keep an eye on Anderson's stand-up position here. Oh, sorry, deeper in coverage. Just tracking out to the linebacker, or excuse me, the running back.
Schultz, pump fake, nothing there. Now on the run, out to his right, trying to get away. Will keep it himself, but he's taken down by Elliott Brown.
Good pursuit here from the defensive end, Elliott Brown, already with a sack in this ball game.
Anderson forcing it back as well. Nick Anderson with 6 tackles already today. Gives him 100 on the season. His running mate, Niles Morgan, sits at 99 right now as they look to become teammates with 100 tackles. Sankey and Dean did it with the Riders just a couple of years ago. Pretty rare feat otherwise. This kick twirls around, bounces at the 40. Purifoy stays on his feet. It's back to right about where he initially took that ball. And that should do it for the third quarter of action here at McMahon. As Edmonton in control, leading by 12 with 3 quarters in the books. Looking for that season sweep in the Battle of Alberta. 1 quarter away from getting it done for the first time in 22 years. Well, I said earlier, Edmonton in full control. I don't know, in the CFL, 12 points might not be full control, but they lead 17-5 and just really haven't got a vibe from Calgary offense that there's going to be any sort of threat right now.
Yeah, that's exactly the word that was in my mind, is Calgary hasn't been threatening. They haven't been able to mount any sort of consistency offensively. I think that's what has led to a lot of the Matthew Schultz running, scrambling, trying to make something happen, do whatever he can do to keep some drives alive.
It's one thing that he's capable of. He's been trying to utilize that a little bit to his advantage, but Calgary's offense, whether it's with Schultz today or with Jake Mayer earlier, dead last in the league, just 23 points per game this season. So we should not be surprised maybe by their lack of production today. Mind you, 5 points, not going to be very pleasing for the home crowd. Edmonton here from the 38. They'll give it to Rankin. Rankin finds a little bit of space again, up to midfield. Every time he touches the ball today, it's been electric.
And with that run going past the Edmonton sideline, you can hear the whole group get fired up by this run from Justin Rankin. They kept him going lateral for a while, but he manages to turn it north-south, and when he does, Comes a big play as he runs through a tackle there for the Elks.
That goes for 27. He's got 77 yards on 5 carries. He'll stand in there to the left of Ford again. Ford gets that one away to Dylan Mitchell. Trying to get a block. Not going to happen. And he'll be thrown back very close to the original line of scrimmage. We know Edmonton has shown the ability to run the ball this year.
Yeah, they certainly have, and it was a bit of a turning point for them when they committed to that. Look back at the start of August. 3 200-yard efforts. 3 running backs with over 500 yards on the season. Multi-headed attack.
Rankin has 3 100-yard games. If they keep feeding him here in the fourth quarter, he might find another one. Looking to throw here. Ford on the run. Out to his right. It just decides to throw that one away as nothing developed down the field.
Much like the sack that he took for the safety on Edmonton's opening offensive play of this game, you actually appreciate the decision-making from Trey Ford as a young quarterback, especially a guy with the style of Trey Ford, where it's kind of always trying to make something happen off the scramble, is recognizing sometimes whether it's take the sack in that one instance rather than risk trying to throw that turns into a fumble or a pick and a touchdown in that field position at the start of the game, or that one just risking a turnover as you live to fight another day.
Peyton Logan contained for the most part this afternoon. Julian shakes this one, and that will be a flag on the play. Nick Anderson in the mix for Rookie of the Year, I ask? Maybe. Oh, you can call them a dynamic duo in the middle of this Edmonton offense. Nick Anderson and Niles Morgan, excellent all season. Anderson leading the way tonight. Give him credit for 2 sacks, 7 tackles. He needed 6 to hit 100 coming in. And as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, chatting with Alway earlier in the week, just saying these guys run to the ball, and that's what he admires about people who play the same position as him. Here's Schultz near side. Philpott finally involved, and he will be tackled. Well, this is the type of season Anderson and Morgan have put together.
Yeah, these two guys have been highly productive, and tackles can often be a bit of a misleading stat because, quite honestly, your defense has to be on the field a fair bit for 2 guys to hit 100 tackles, but it's not for lack of effort or performance from these 2 guys. There have been some ups and downs.
Angleton tripped up on the play that time. First down for Calgary. And Niles Morgan does get credit for that tackle. He's now at 100 on the season as well. So Morgan and Anderson, teammates with 100 tackles.
Yeah, number 45 in the middle of your screen. There you see him. Simple as it sounds, run into the football.
Schultz, nowhere to go. And he's wrapped up and taken down again. This time, it's Daniel Joseph, his first sack of the season.
Yeah, big one there for Daniel Joseph. The right side of your screen, Joseph, after spending some time in the National Football League, joined the BC Lions, who had made him a first-round pick a couple of years ago. Didn't stick with BC out of camp. He was picked up by the Toronto Argonauts. They had some depth at the position. There wasn't really a spot for him. Moves to Edmonton, getting an opportunity here to get a look.
Schultz near side, Markin Michel wide open. He's got a first down. He's tracked down from behind by Lewis. But Calgary takes the ball onto Edmonton's side of the field.
And a big conversion there for the Calgary Stampeders, who have struggled to make plays when they've needed to keep drives alive here. Second and extra long situation. Matthew Schultz delivers with pressure coming. Markin Michel, the veteran, on the receiving end of that one.
Back to Mills. Tackle made by Joseph. Got 4 yards on the play.
Yeah, Daniel Joseph started his career at Penn State, defensive end. And, you know, so often guys will go to the big schools, and obviously tons of Canadians having success in those instances in this era. But any player, whether Canadian or American, sometimes you just get caught in the numbers thing. Moved on to Wake Forest, where he got more of an opportunity, had a very productive final year there.
Edmonton brings some heat, and that is batted away right in the face of Schultz. Purifoy is there. Little Mutombo, no, not today. Got all of that one. That ball sitting back inside the 30.
Yeah, you can see Purifoy right on the right edge of your screen. They haven't accounted for him in that protection. Schultz knows he's hot off that unblocked player, meaning he's got to get rid of the ball right away, but Purifoy able to get in that passing lane.
So 3rd and 6, offense stays on the field, trying to keep this drive alive. What does Shivers dial up here as the defensive coordinator for Edmonton? Jump early, flags on the play. Like a few guys on that defense.
Turn this 2nd or 3rd medium into 3rd and short, which will bring out Tommy Stevens.
First time today we've seen Tommy Stevens.
Offside, Edmonton number 49. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
They end up focusing in on Daniel Joseph. Might not have been the only one.
Yeah, Joseph. Bottom of that defensive line, like Sean Oakman. Got caught leaning a little bit there as well.
Tommy Stevens in on 3rd and 1. Keeps it. Got it. And the Stampeders offense down 12. Stays on the field. Not sure there's more a sure thing in the Canadian Football League than Tommy Stevens on 3rd and 1.
Yes. Tommy, be your own blocker, Stevens.
Working his way up the list. Most rushing TDs by a quarterback. He's got 9. That 11 is within grasp with a few games remaining still.
Yes, he's going to surpass Doug Flutie.
Near side. Bagleton waits for the contact, takes it, gets positive yardage on 1st down.
That backup quarterback, short yardage quarterback, running quarterback, however you want to label it, has become such a niche position in the Canadian Football League.
Big part of the game, right? You can do it well. You can have a long career here.
Yeah.
Tommy Stevens will watch on as Schultz goes to work on a 2nd and 7. 3-man pressure from Edmonton. Schultz finds a soft spot in that defense, and he connects with Philpott. And Calgary marching here in the 4th quarter.
Jalen Philpott had lots of big moments on this field. Some this year as a Stampeder, but obviously throughout his university career as a member of the Calgary Dinos.
2nd catch of the game for Philpott. Schultz out to Kylan Hill. He'll take it to the 15, down to the 10, and pushed out at about the 3. And Calgary knocking on the door now.
Nice adjustment on the fly here for Matthew Schultz as he goes through his reads. He looks like he's just about to throw this to Jalen Philpott, who you're going to see coming left to right on your screen. But he recognizes Philpott with that speed is going to run. He's running right into coverage. There's a defender just off screen there. So Schultz checks it backside to his running back for a nice play to pick up another 1st down.
1st and goal from the 3. And whistles before
Timeout,
this play
Calgary.
can get off. Calgary has called a timeout.
See Calgary's equipment man, George Hopkins, was to the left there, just beside head coach Dave Dickinson. You know, George, longest serving employee here in Calgary, and some of the power that goes along with that. It was apparently his decision to wear all white today. Gio got to make
Makes the call on it.
Yes.
Well, as the play-by-play guy way up here in the booth, I appreciate it. The white with the big red letters. We'll take it.
Yeah, we'll give Gio your expression of gratitude.
Every time. Readable numbers. That's the best. First and goal from the Edmonton 3. Schultz looking to throw quickly. He does it. He's got a touchdown as he gets it into the hands of Philpott. His third touchdown of the season. And the Calgary Stampeders are right back in this thing.
Well, they've finally put together a drive. This one ending in points, pulling them within a possession with plenty of football left to be played here in Calgary. Quick hitter there, Schultz to Philpott.
Calgary will go for 2. Make it a 4-point game. Kylan Hill in the game at running back. Immediately to the left of Schultz. That's Begelton, who slides around there. Schultz now. That batted down, intercepted, and now brought back out by Oakman, and Oakman's still going along the sideline. So the Edmonton defense keeps it a 6-point cushion. 12-play, 80-yard drive, just over 6 minutes. Schultz has himself a passing touchdown. Third touchdown of the season for Philpott. His third catch of the game as well. Quarterback a little banged up here, trying to make this tackle.
Oakman got him with a pretty good straight arm in the back of the head there.
Keep tabs on it. This ball taken just inside the 10. Javon Leak on the return. That hole closes quickly. And Edmonton will have the ball with the lead when we return to Calgary. Welcome back to Calgary. There's Micah Alway, centerpiece of this Calgary defense with his running mate Cam Judge there. We talked about the two Edmonton guys getting to 100 tackles. How about 134 last season for this guy?
Yeah, Micah Alway all over the place in this Calgary defense. Well, their style has changed a little bit. Some new personnel around them, but Micah Alway continues to fly around the field. It remains one of the great interviews and conversations among all players in the CFL.
Ford dumps it off to Leak. Leak, little high step, trying to find some pace or a place to go. Short pickup on first down. Well, if Alway in this Calgary defense can make a play right here, they'll get the ball back with decent field position.
And there he is with his wingman, Cam Judge. Judge, former number 2 overall pick. The CFL draft at UCLA, now in his 7th season, previously spending time in Saskatchewan where he was drafted in Toronto.
Edmonton has put up 17 points, 16 of them coming in the second quarter of this game. Now that one is intercepted. Did he hang on to it? Just inside the 30. What a play, now a flag at the end of all of it. That ball looked like it was tipped up in the air and then held on to. Clarence Hicks.
Yeah, that would be his second pick of the season from his defensive end spot. Just a nice reaction there and focus to stay with it, pull it in.
Well, the Calgary defense makes a huge play, and now they'll have excellent field position.
Nice athletic play. It's the roll here at the end, sort of get his body underneath the ball. Just that that awareness and body control from Clarence Hicks. I know you were talking about a big defensive stop for Calgary with the turnover in Edmonton territory, even bigger.
Instant field position. There is that flag, which I think is what the officials continue to sort out. Long conversation for Tim Croker and his crew. I believe this is going to be against Edmonton. Might take it well into the red zone here. The Calgary defense continues to celebrate on the sideline.
Yeah, you stand outside, so I didn't grab.
After the turnover, there are 2 misconduct penalties on the play. One against Calgary number 99 and Edmonton number 62. It's first down Calgary, right at the spot.
Okay, so they'll leave the ball where it is. 2 offsetting misconducts on the play, but still excellent field position for Schultz as that ball sits on the Edmonton 29.
We talked about Calgary having not threatened really through 3 quarters of this football game, but turning up the heat here in the 4th.
First turnover of the ball game is a big one. Empty backfield for Schultz. He's going to take off. Here goes Schultz down to the 20. And he's tracked down just inside the 15. Niles Morgan was there to make sure he couldn't pick his way to the end zone.
Yeah, well-timed call there. And just recognition of the fact that Schultz in this ball game, him using his legs has been one of Calgary's best offensive weapons, but he drops back. They've thrown so much. Linebackers back out a little bit, giving the O-line a chance to get up on them.
16 yards on the ground for Schultz. Into the red zone we go for Calgary. We'll give it to Kylan Hill. A nice burst. Stays on his feet. Inside the 5, and he's tracked down as Calgary creeps a little bit closer.
It's a nice cut by Hill right here, going to his left. Coming off contact, redirects. Getting close to Tommy Stevens territory here.
He's out there now on the 2nd and 1. What he's done this year, I wouldn't be surprised if he finishes it right here.
Yeah.
2nd and 1 from the Edmonton 4. Pick up the first down. Stevens takes it himself, and he's in. Tommy Stevens, touchdown. Give him 10, and we're tied at 17.
Some guys you count on just the plunge, but Tommy Stevens so often gives you so much more than that. Finds that soft spot off the edge to go in more than the first down and into the end zone standing up.
Tommy Stevens, 1 touchdown away from the quarterback season franchise record for Calgary. And a lead for the Stampeders, 18-17. Here come the Stamps, I believe were his words, and he's right. 13 points here in the 4th quarter.
The big play, the Clarence Hicks interception that sets up the Stampeders with a short field. Matthew Schultz had the quarterback draw to start that drive for a nice pickup, and Tommy Stevens coming on in a short yardage play. He skips the middleman. Not just a first down, but straight into the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, when we talk about evaluating these quarterbacks today, no better time now than seeing what Trey Ford has coming off an interception, now trailing in this game late in the 4th quarter. decent tool of evaluation. Hammered away. Taken at the 5. A little bit of a backpedaling there for Mitchell. And Mitchell takes it back out to about the 25. NBA preseason on TSN will feature the Spurs taking on the Heat in Miami this Tuesday. Tune in at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on TSN.
Getting into that time of year that's kind of a sports fan's dream.
Oh, it's a good time. You got this playoff stretch or the push towards the playoffs in the Canadian Football League. Football south of the border, hockey going, Major League Baseball playoffs. Not sure how it can get much better. First and 10 for Edmonton from their own 24. They'll run it with Rankin. He's been good so far today. And he gets about 5 yards, maybe 6, on that first down carry.
No surprise to see Edmonton try and regain the momentum by leading on that run game a little bit.
End up giving him 7, takes him over 80 in this ball game on just 6 carries.
Justin Rankin came into this football game averaging 7.6 yards a carry, and he's actually raised that.
Yeah. Pretty impressive. Impressive enough. They'll go to him again, and look at this. He's got a first down. Stays on his feet to the 50. All the way down, and finally tackled just inside the 45. Another 100-yard game for Justin Rankin. And Edmonton, just like that, within field goal range.
That big offensive line. Oh, maybe some dividends being paid here from a second quarter in which they had the Calgary defense on the field a whole lot. Taken out of the play there is Rankin. Gets it up the middle. And yet another 100-yard game for the first-year running back.
Only really got involved partway through the season as well. So it looks like they have another good one in Edmonton. This one, a 38-yard run for Rankin. Edmonton trailing by 1 in Calgary.
CFL Thanksgiving weekend is brought to you by Purolator.
Well, for the 44th time this season, we've got a CFL game that will be decided in the final 3 minutes. Calgary's played a lot of these tight ones, and we asked them earlier in the week, and they said we just haven't finished in these situations. Right now, Edmonton trailing by 1 has the ball, working from the Calgary 41. Back to Rankin again. Can he find anywhere to go this time? Not going to happen. Way right there to wrap him up after a short pickup on first down.
Yeah, not that Justin Rankin wasn't a point of focus in the Calgary defensive meetings all week, but I think particular focus right here after what he had done on the previous couple of plays, gashing the Stampeders for big yardage and kind of snuffing out the momentum that they had held through much of this fourth quarter.
2nd and 9. This would be a 47-yarder into the wind. Ford, pressure coming, gets it away, far side, and it's caught. Trying to lunge ahead was Gittens. They're going to mark him just short, about a yard away from a first down.
And Curly Gittens does a nice job of kind of coming back to the football here. As the pass is en route, he's past that first down yardage. He's got to bend back a little bit. The throw brings him back towards the line of scrimmage, but makes a good adjustment to go get it and fight to get it as close to that first down marker as possible.
All right, 3rd and 1. A field goal would put them on top, but 3rd and 1, they're going to go for it from the Calgary 32. Prokop into the game. Get it here, a lot more time comes off the clock. You don't get it, you're in a little bit of trouble. Prokop pushing ahead, flags on the play. He's got the first down, and we'll see what this flag is.
Prokop on the carry. Flag down.
Offside, defensive line, Calgary. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's a first down.
You see that hand within a yard of the ball. Pause for the flag. So Dakota Prokop getting it done again with his group.
Just over 2 minutes remaining. Ball now on the Calgary 27.
And again, there's a bit of that clock management piece for the young quarterback in his ongoing audition here.
Look after the football. They'll give it to Rankin. Made one man miss. Now he's going to kick it out to the 20. Cuts it back inside. He's got another first down. Justin Rankin running all over the Calgary defense.
Yeah, just terrific job here by Justin Rankin and the Edmonton offensive line in response to Calgary's big fourth quarter comeback. Edmonton needed to settle things down, regain momentum. They turned to this group in the run game to get it done. Rankin and his big friends don't disappoint.
They're a yard away from running for 200 yards. Again, the other 3 times they've done that this season, they've won football games. 1st and 10 from the Calgary 12. Back to Rankin again, a little bit of an escort up the middle, and he'll take it down.
Justin Rankin
right at the 10.
Stood up by number 4, Cameron Judd.
That'll be a 200-yard day on the ground for the Elks.
Had great depth at that position for Edmonton.
Cameron Judge is down.
Cameron Judge, the injured Calgary Stampeder.
Rankin, high game on the year, 157. He sits at 140. He's averaging 14 yards per carry today. Almost double the already impressive 7.6 that he came into the game with. Alway over there chatting with Judge. CFL Thanksgiving weekend presented by Pure Later will continue on TSN tonight. Lions taking on the Riders. You can tune in 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific for that one. It's safe to say that's a pretty big football game.
Yeah, just a little bit.
We're trying it tonight.
It's been a number of weeks of pretty good preview of playoff football here down the stretch this season. Was the playoff participants just decided officially, I guess, last night with Toronto's win over Winnipeg. The team's still jockeying for position, and even to have everybody alive until a week ago.
Winnipeg's 8-game winning streak snaps. 2nd and 8 for Trey Ford. Judge watches from the sideline. 8th play of the drive. Gino Lewis to the left. Ford will roll to his right. Now he puts it towards the end zone. Touchdown! Eugene Lewis receiving touchdowns in 7 consecutive games. A new franchise record for Edmonton, and they go back on top.
It was Justin Rankin doing the heavy lifting to get it down here. But in closing it out, clutch effort, great block from Justin Rankin there. Provide time for Trey Ford. Ford to Lewis.
proved to be a clutch combination. The go-ahead touchdown.
Eugene Lewis, a rushing touchdown in the first half. A receiving touchdown here in the fourth quarter. Edmonton will go for 2 to try to make it a 7-point ball game. Ford dumps it off, intercepted, and now it's going to be brought back out by Demario Houston. And Calgary takes it away.
Watch Justin Rankin from the backfield here. The lead blocker for Trey Ford, allowing him to roll to his right. Gino Lewis moving his defender around. He's going to work from backside to front side. Just outrunning Houston across the formation.
Please avoid bringing food or drinks with you, and all underage participants must be accompanied by an adult.
Record-setting catch for Eugene Lewis in a disappointing year for Edmonton, but a bright spot for him for sure.
Mario Houston is Ford looking for Lewis again. Houston gets a little bit of redemption there with the interception.
Trey Ford there to make the tackle.
I know I didn't get it. Mama, I love you, man. Bet on me. It's better than betting on a lottery. I'll tell you everything. You know what's going on. Mr. G in the building.
There's been a lot of good receivers that played for this franchise, but he's the first one to have a touchdown catch in 7 straight. The last guy to do it was Ben Cahoon back in 2003, so you're dialing it back 21 years. Calgary, though, is going to get the ball with about a minute to work. What can they get for a return? Kylan Hill has the touch, takes it up, tripped up just about the 35, and Matthew Schultz will go to work with 65 seconds on the clock.
An impressive fourth quarter for the Calgary Stampeders.
I thought about it, I'm like, what can I see the ball? Yeah, that's it. So I thought you were going to get a little bit more depth.
Gonna let these guys break it down.
Yeah. It's better than us speculating. All right, Schultz, what do you got? From the 36. Dumps it off to his running back. Dedrick Mills finds some space, takes it out beyond the 45. With 55 on the clock, and Calgary's got to have 6.
Yeah, a pretty good chunk to start it off. You've got to be so efficient right here in terms of their clock management. Have that play ready to go right away.
Schultz this time has it batted down at the line as he was looking to dump one off over the middle.
Oakman, who had an interception earlier in this ball game from his defensive tackle position. The big knockdown there to Calgary's benefit. That'll stop the clock.
Stampeders are 9 for 20 on second down. This is kind of a big one here. Schultz, is he going to take off? On the run here, tries to turn it upfield, and he's pushed out of bounds, shy of the first down, but might have got close enough for Tommy Stevens to come in and finish it off quickly here. And you got to move.
Yeah, big run for Schultz, who has been impressive with his contributions on the ground in this ball game. A little reminiscent of the Zach Collaros late game scramble last night.
Popped by Anderson at the end of that play.
Yeah. Just launched.
5'11", 242 is what Nick Anderson runs at. Tommy Stevens, 3rd and 1 to keep this game alive for Calgary. Ooh, that's close. I think he probably has it, but it's closer than I thought.
A big collision there.
Everybody trying to get eyes on this. That should be enough with where that ball's been spotted. First down, Calgary.
Derek Moncrief was the one who stood up Tommy Stevens on that play. Got an injured Elks defender.
.37 seconds on the clock. Athletic therapist out to work on the Elks player. Tommy Stevens does his job once again. Not much on the line for these two teams, but when you step out on that field, you want to come away with the victory, right?
Your boy's still trying to tell him I didn't get it.
Shields would love to come away with a win. Oakman, the big man in the middle on that defensive line, will have to come off the field.
Sean Oakman making his way off the field.
37 seconds already at the Edmonton 52. Not much of a need to rush, really, here, Dwayne. Like 37 seconds from this spot on the field. Execute a regular offense here.
Yeah, you need to get a couple of pretty good chunks.
Schultz dumps it off. Down inside the 50. That was to Philpott with 27 seconds on the clock. Miles Morgan a little slow to get up. Looks like he's in pain.
And that's one, when you look at the time that came off the clock relative to the gain, there's one where if you're going to get to the check down, you just want to get to the check down a little quicker.
Quicker than that one, yeah. You can't take the 10 seconds off the clock before getting to the check down. Second and 6. Dickinson's team has lost 4 in a row at home. Have not won a game in more than 2 months. A season to forget. Can they find the victory here today? Schultz, slow snap. Picks it up, no problem. Down the field, inside the 35. He finds Beggleton with 21 seconds on the clock.
And no surprise to see Reggie Beggleton as the target for Calgary in a critical situation. You've already seen the veteran slot go over 1,000 yards on the season.
Schultz again. Dumps it out, incomplete. Probably better than it was.
Yeah, exactly. With the defender, Niles Morgan bearing down. I mean, Morgan sniffed out the play right from the start.
Second down.
Was tracking the back, ready to make a tackle right away. Calgary gets another stoppage of the clock, allows them to huddle up.
They'll do it again. Second down. 15 on the clock. 8th play of the drive for Schultz. Looks over the middle. Is he thinking about going down the field? He does, and he misses him. Markin Michel got turned around, and it'll be 3rd down with 8 seconds to play.
Michel starts off out wide on this one. See at the tail end of this play, number 82, Ryzen John, who had lined up on the other side. Schultz just didn't get there in terms of his reads. John was open in the middle of the field.
8 seconds on the clock. 3rd and 10 for the Stampeders. Edmonton's going to bring some pressure. Schultz, one-on-one, far side, looking to the end zone. No! Incomplete. Markin Michel working against Kai Gray. And I do not see a flag anywhere on the field. And that should do it. Oh, wow. There is a flag
at the 1-yard line.
And the ball is going to be placed at the 1. I did not see that flag come out. Well, there it is.
artificial, well-positioned.
The ball has been placed at the 5. My apologies, I did not see that initial flag come out on the far side of the field. Jerry's going to use his challenge here.
Yeah.
Edmonton's challenging the previous play of pass interference. The play will be reviewed.
Well, let's get a couple looks at it.
So
see Mark
keep an eye
Michel
on the matchup.
Grab the jersey.
Top of your screen. Michel just releasing down the sideline. You see Michel's hand on the defender's shoulder at the end of the play, but you can also see, if you look at Kai Gray's right hand, he also had a bit of a grasp, it appeared, of marking Michel's jersey just above his waist.
Right there.
Yeah.
The grab an automatic. Didn't really slow him down much, but there was a grab there, right? It's probably going to stand, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and it's interesting to see this play come up, because I had a conversation with Paul LaPolice this week, and he talked about coaching receivers and telling them, like, if there's that grab of the jersey, that's going to get called every time. You kind of expect it.
They've taken a couple of looks at it. Here's the ruling.
After review by Command Center, the ruling on the field stands. It's first down, Calgary. Edmonton is out of timeouts as well as challenges.
So it comes down to this. 2 seconds on the clock. The ball sits at the 5. Schultz on the 10th play of this drive, trying to find the end zone, toe in it, and avoid a season sweep at the hands of their bitter rivals. Schultz from the 5 to the end zone. No! Incomplete. No flags in sight this time. That's going to do it. Edmonton hangs on 23-18 and sweeps the season series with 3 victories over Calgary.
And this one comes down to battle between a couple of veterans. Reggie Begelton working against Luchez Purifoy. Purifoy's got Begelton walled off to the outside. He just can't fight his way back. As the throw is to the middle, can't fight his way back inside to get to that ball.
Dickinson watching on.
We want to once again invite all of
He wanted a PI again.
And run the field following the game.
Didn't get it.
Can enter the field at the bottom of sections E, D, E.
Jarius didn't look some early movement there before the snap. I think that's what that reaction was. Interesting finish to a game between these two clubs.
Yeah, and fascinating flow of momentum, as you saw in this football game. Edmonton appearing to be well in control in the first half of this ball game. Calgary roars back early in the 4th quarter to take the lead. Justin Rankin, as he has done for so much of the back half of this season, leading the way with that Edmonton ground game. When they needed a big drive, it was all Rankin that got them there to take the lead, get the win.
Calgary winless in 8. Edmonton snaps a 3-game slide and completes the season series sweep of the Stampeders for the first time since 2002. Nail-biting at the end, but they hang on for the win. 23-18, your final. Thank you very much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your evening.